शून्यवादी मायावादी तदेरा उद्धारा करिवारी मना तदेरा उद्धारा करिवारी मना तेना कुंताया यदि प्रभुपाद न है तो तबे की होइतो जीवन
Prabhupada ki jai. Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Namaste, Bhagavate Devi, Gauravani Bhattarine, Nirvisesa Sunyavadi, Mastatka Dasatane. Bhagavati Bhatsalam, Mangalanjaya Tegan, Yashkita Davahan Vande, Sigram Nithanam, Haravana Namaram, Sri Chaitanya Islam. I'd like to thank all the children and their teachers for the nice gift from Srila Prabhupada.
I'd like to thank all the students and their teachers for their nice skit on Srila Prabhupada.
Last year was the 50th anniversary of Prabhupada's voyage from India to America.
Last year was the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's voyage from India to America.
And this year is the 50th anniversary of Prabhupada's registration of Islam.
And this year is the 50th anniversary of Srila Prabhupada's registration of ISKCON.
I'm sure there'll be different functions at different times of the year.
I'm sure there will be different functions at different times of the year.
So, we see here how Prabhupada, he did what was deemed to be impossible.
So we see that Prabhupada did what was deemed to be impossible.
He brought the teachings of Lord Chaitanya from India to the West.
He brought the teachings of Lord Chaitanya from India to the West.
And he took a personal interest in each devotee.
And he took a personal interest in each devotee.
Now our standard in the temples is quite high.
Now our standards in the temple is quite high.
And people that live in the ashram have to strictly be following the principles.
And people that live in the ashram have to be strictly following the principles.
So I remember in 1968, it was a different situation.
But I remember in 1968, it was a different situation.
There was a new devotee, he came, but he was addicted to smoking.
There was a new devotee, he came, but he was addicted to smoking.
So Prabhupada said he would go out and smoke each day 1 cigarette less.
So Prabhupada said that he could go out and each day smoke 1 cigarette less.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stop.
So Prabhupada was taking it up. At that time there was just 3 temples in Montreal and San Francisco and New York.
At that time there was just 3 temples, Montreal, San Francisco, and New York.
And even I tell people I saw every temple in ISKCON.
And I tell people I saw every temple in ISKCON.
In 1968.
In 1968.
No, it's not possible.
Now it's not possible.
I don't see not possible, but it's very hard.
I wouldn't say not possible, but it's very hard.
To visit all the 600 temples.
To visit all the 600 temples.
And thousands and thousands of bhakti rishas.
And thousands of bhakti vrikshas.
Namhattas, counselor groups.
Namhattas, counselor groups.
So, when he started, Prabhupada, he stopped by one church.
So when we started, Prabhupada stopped by one church.
He said, in the future, our temples will be like this.
He said, in the future, our temples will be like this.
A limited number of people will live in the temples.
A limited number of people will live in the temples.
And a vast congregation will practice from their homes.
And the vast congregation will practice from their homes.
We'll come to the temple on weekends and special days.
And they'll come to the temple on weekends and special days.
At that time, we just had temple ashrams.
At that time, we just had temple ashrams.
Now we're seeing that we have so many devotees practicing from their houses.
But now we see that we have so many devotees practicing from their houses.
And today we saw how the children, they perform this nice drama.
And today we saw the children, they performed this nice drama.
So I want people to understand what sacrifice Prabhupada went through.
So we want people to understand what sacrifice Prabhupada went through.
But when he came, there was nothing.
And when he came, there was nothing.
He had to teach the other devotees how to cook, how to do everything.
He had to teach people how to wear dhotis, how to cook, how to do everything.
You know. Once I was transiting Boulder, Colorado.
Once I was transiting Boulder, Colorado.
On my way to help open the temple in Chicago.
On my way to help open the temple in Chicago.
And when Bhaktin asked me, how do you wear a sari?
And when Bhaktin asked me, how do you wear a sari?
So I don't really know.
So I said, I don't really know.
Well, I think it's like this.
But I think it's like this.
And so later she got initiated. She said, I learned how to wear a sari from Jayapataka Swami.
And the day she got initiated, she said, I learned how to wear a sari from Jayapataka Swami.
Okay, take that off.
Take that off.
Prabhupada had to do everything.
But Prabhupada had to do everything.
And so, must have been a great relief they once had devotees who knew how to teach others.
So it must have been a great relief when he had devotees who knew how to teach others.
So, now with the IT explosion, many Indian origin people all over the world.
Now with the IT explosion, there are many Indian origin people all over the world.
So, that's made the whole thing much easier.
So that's made the whole thing much easier.
And the temples, they can help by providing the children a cultural and spiritual base.
And the temple can help children by providing a cultural and spiritual base.
And help the adults by giving them some practice in Bhakti Yoga.
And help the adults by giving them some practice in Bhakti Yoga.
The Shankaracharya and his Jnana Yoga.
Shankaracharya and his Gyan Yoga.
He said that in order to achieve liberation,
He says in order to achieve liberation,
you have to be a sannyasi.
you have to be a sannyasi.
But that's for the impersonal Brahman realization.
But that's for the impersonal Brahman realization.
We see that for the personal realization, which is available in Bhakti Yoga,
For the personal realization that's available in Bhakti Yoga,
one may be a grihastha or renounced.
one may be a grihastha or renounced.
Like one time, the Pandavas, they're having a secret meeting
One time the Pandavas were having a secret meeting
in their war council,
and their war council,
and they're all discussing,
and they're all discussing,
how do we get Krishna to come back?
how do we get Krishna to come back?
How can we live without Krishna?
How can we live without Krishna?
Krishna.
We need Krishna.
So we can tell them we're being attacked.
So they said, we can tell him we're being attacked.
He won't believe us.
He won't believe us.
He already killed all our enemies.
He already killed all our enemies.
They're all having an intense meaning, how to bring Krishna back.
They're in this intense meeting, how to bring Krishna back.
And now when he came,
Then Narad Muni came.
said, you're all the greatest devotees.
He said, you're all the greatest devotees.
And Arjuna stood up. Arjuna stood up.
Arjuna stood up.
It's true, we're some kind of devotee.
It's true, we're some kind of devotee,
But the greatest devotees see the Rishis.
but the greatest devotees see the Vrishnis,
See in Dwarka.
see in Dwarka.
There you see how the basking in Krishna's association every day.
There you see how they're basking in Krishna's association every day.
Now they are the greatest devotees.
Now they're the greatest devotees.
So like this, Narmani was trying to find out who is the greatest devotee.
Like this, Narad Muni was trying to find out who is the greatest devotee.
So all the devotees he visited were basically grihasthas.
So all the devotees he visited were basically grihasthas.
So as a grihastha, we should side by side with our material life.
As a grihastha, side by side with our material life,
We should be developing our spiritual life.
we should be developing our spiritual life.
We should be trying to more and more understand our relationship with Krishna.
We should be trying more and more to understand our relationship with Krishna.
This begins from childhood.
This begins from childhood.
That the children by doing the dramas about Krishna, about devotees.
That these children doing their dramas about Lord Krishna and his devotees,
This purifies them, purifies us, everyone.
this purifies them, it purifies us and everyone.
So like this we gradually develop.
So like this we gradually develop.
And then by the time we're elderly,
And then by the time we're elderly,
hopefully we'll already be very much attached to Krishna.
hopefully we'll be very much attached to Krishna.
Of course we don't have to wait till we're elderly.
Of course, we don't have to wait till we're elderly.
You can be attached even earlier.
We can be attached even earlier.
Like Dhruva.
Like Dhruva.
He was 6 years old
He was 6 years old.
and he saw Krishna
And he saw Krishna
in his Narayan form.
in his Narayan form.
And then he said, I want a broken glass.
And then he said, I wanted broken glass.
I got jewels. I got jewels.
I got jewels. I got jewels.
He was so happy
He was so happy
to see Narayan.
to see Narayan.
And you know, to have all kinds of good karma.
Normally one has to have all kinds of good karma
Have done penances and austerities
and have done penances and austerities
to engage in devotional service.
to engage in devotional service.
When one is engaged in devotional service, it indicates that they've already gone through all these preliminary stages.
When one has gone to devotional service, it indicates that they've already gone through all these preliminary stages.
So Prabhupada was one day lecturing on this,
Prabhupada was one day lecturing on this,
and one devotee from Australia,
and one devotee from Australia,
he raised his hand.
he raised his hand.
He said, Prabhupada, you said that one who has Bhakti Yoga, they said that they have already gone through all these stages of penance and austerity.
He said that Prabhupada, you said that one who has gone to Bhakti Yoga has already gone through all the other stages like penances and austerities.
I look back at my life,
When I look back at my life,
I never did any of these things.
I never did any of these things.
I didn't know the name of God.
I didn't know the name of God.
I didn't know devotional service.
I didn't know devotional service.
I never did any penance.
I never did any penance.
I never did any austerity.
I never did any austerity.
How did I get Bhakti Yoga?
So how did I get Bhakti Yoga?
Prabhupada said, I made your good fortune for you.
Prabhupada said, I made your good fortune for you.
But here, who wants the mercy of Gaurnitai?
So who wants the mercy of Gaurnitai?
So, basically that's what Prabhupada brought all over the world.
So basically that's what Prabhupada brought all over the world.
And he brought here to Australia,
And he brought it here to Australia,
Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth.
to Sydney, Melbourne and Perth.
So, now it's being spread.
So now it's being spread.
So it's easy to take the mercy of the one time
So you take the mercy of Gaurnitai
and achieve your success.
and achieve your success.
Because you love your children,
Because you love your children,
you want to give them the best.
you want to give them the best.
So side by side with their ordinary education. Side by side.
Side by side with their ordinary education,
You want to give them Krishna consciousness
you want to give them Krishna consciousness
so that they can end the cycle of birth and death.
so that they can end the cycle of birth and death.
And if you or one of your children can get back to Godhead,
And if you or one of your children can get back to Godhead,
then 14 generations, some forwards, some backwards, get free tickets.
then 14 generations, 7 forwards, 7 backwards, get free tickets.
One parent said, please take our son and initiate him.
One parent said, please take our son and initiate him.
We don't know if we can make it.
We don't know if we can make it.
Well, please liberate him and then we can get a free ticket.
So please liberate him and then we can get a free ticket.
Well, we want the, what they call the evidence to the both, all to go back.
But we want the mother and father and the children both to go back.
So, Prabhupada, he didn't think who was qualified, who was unqualified.
So Prabhupada didn't think who was qualified and who was not qualified.
Just like Lord Chaitanya, he gave the mercy freely.
Just like Lord Chaitanya, he gave the mercy freely.
So we hope that all of you will take Prabhupada's mercy.
So we hope that all of you will take Prabhupada's mercy
And also give it out freely
and also give it out freely
to the conditioned souls.
to the conditioned souls.
I was thinking about how that I could end it. I don't thank you again, children,
Haribol, thank you again, children
teachers.
and teachers.
Haribol.